What's up, my Capricorns, and welcome or welcome back to Cards for Hire. So, my Caps, I'm picking up on a few things. First and foremost, I'm hearing pass the duchy from the left hand side. Okay, somebody might need to reconnect with nature in whatever way you may want to do that. I also almost called you guys angels, okay? And the way the smoke from my incense is rising, it feels as if you need to stay on the straight and narrow path. So that gives me the energy of, if someone deserves a reckoning, if someone deserves some type of revenge, it may not be your place to do so, okay? It feels like it would do more harm than good, all right? Yeah. And I'm also picking up on animals, specifically birds, okay? I was hearing something. I heard water feeder, and then I was like, something about birds. I looked outside, and that like 3 birds flew past my window. So something about birds is significant, okay? Anything else? Yeah. And now I'm hearing that Halle song, Angel. You're an angel, angel. Yeah. Your halo. They know you're an angel. Ooh, okay. So I could be talking to earth angels. All right. I like that, Cappies. Right. Before we get into this, y'all know we gotta, I was gonna say eat before we drink, Lord. Pray before we eat. Divine, I thank you in advance. Ask for clarity, protection, as well as progression and connection. I extend my gratitude and ask that my angels and guides protect me and mine on this vibe, man. Something about your optimism is going to be needed, okay? And whatever situation this is, all right? All right. What's the message, Lord? The part of that song that I was hearing was when she says, when angels fall, they fall on clouds. Ascension. I love that so much. Yeah. Somebody wants to knock you off course, or someone's trying to provoke you in some way, shape, or form, okay? Don't do it. And you know what's crazy? So I was sitting thinking about earlier how I've always been drawn to blue, the color blue, okay? Most of the schools I went to, the school colors were blue. My name has the color blue in it, all right? And then I had my son, and he just so happened to be born in September. And the birthstone for September is sapphire, which is blue. Something about your throat chakra could be very significant. You could be a very powerful speaker, okay? You could be a public speaker, all right? Or you may be being called into that profession in some way, shape, or form, all right? Or you may be called to speak up for yourself or others at this time, okay? Bird, messenger. Oh, Capricorns, you didn't tell me anything. Jeez. I thought we was friends. And look, it's birds in this card, okay? Awakening, wake up. Okay, you might be called to speak to people that need to wake up, okay? So whatever ongoing thing you may have in your life, okay? It's really giving me the energy of wherever your Chiron is in your birth chart. That is a theme that eventually, if you pass enough lessons, you are meant to pass that lesson on to others to assist them with that lesson. Does that make sense? So if you are very well versed in, maybe, speaking up for yourself, self-confidence, self-love, or speaking out against any type of injustice, then that is something that perhaps you might want to get into. Something about the police could be significant, all right? Yes, okay. Can I have one more? Something's out of whack. Something's out of whack. I be forgetting this little thing here. Fuck. Excuse my language. Yes, destruction. Something's out of whack, okay? Yeah, or someone's trying to knock you off course. Don't let it happen. This could also be a situation, okay? Entities come in different forms. Distractions come in different forms. What's at the bottom? Ice King. Heavy on the blue, all right? Ice King. Something about detachment could be significant. Something may not... something doesn't deserve your attention. That's what it is. Something doesn't deserve your attention. And that's interesting because in my morning message, I spoke about detachment, okay? Yeah. Okay. What's the situation for my Capricorns? Thank you for the reminder, Musa. The Empress, okay. What are you creating? What are you nurturing? What are you planting seeds for, okay? Again, with the blue, she's doused in blue. Beautiful, okay? You could have a very, I think it's pronounced ethereal vibe to you, okay? So you may feel like, well, what do I have to say? What do people have to learn from me? Just open your mouth and you'll find out, okay? There's something about you that you may not be able to see because you are you. Everybody else is not you. So they'll be able to maybe put their finger on it, or even if they can't identify what it is about you, there's something special about you. You seem, or it feels as if I'm talking to people that deserve to be heard, possibly because you don't want the spotlight. I think the people that chase the spotlight oftentimes don't get it because you're chasing it. Law of attraction, baby. Situation. Page of Wands. Yeah, you're inspirational. Ooh, something about children could be significant, okay? Because I almost said you may work with children, okay? Or you may want to speak about children. Something about childhood could be significant. You could have found your way out of a rough childhood, okay? All right, can I have one more? Thank you. The Hierophant. Yes, Taurus could be significant, but also learning lessons, okay? Possibly studying something that you, like I said, are very well versed in, is very beneficial to the masses, okay? You have learned a variety of lessons under a specific theme, okay? Wherever that is in your chart, or wherever that may fit in your life, okay? You could assist people with grounding, because I was thinking about, you know, reconnecting with nature by any means necessary, okay? Someone could have had a really foul temper at one point in time, or a really quick temper, okay? Somebody could have been a hothead. You may be able to assist people in that way, okay? The moon. Need I say it? Need I say the color? The moon, yes. Hidden. And the Fool, yeah. It feels like you're going to be able to guide people towards a new way of thinking. I just heard the word profound, okay? All right? A new way of thinking, a new way of being, a better way of living, okay? Yeah. I'm steady getting injustice, okay? Or injustice, yeah. Why don't I put that down? Okay. Yeah, you could be someone's advisor, so therapy could be significant, okay? Advisor, high school or college, or just overall mentor, okay? All right, what's my Capricorn's energy right now? And somebody sees you elevating, okay? But with this ascending and awakening, it feels like you will destroy old constructs, okay? So this could be old constructs or old systems of religion, old systems of negative mindsets that lead people to hell and back, okay? Yeah. Old ways of learning. Someone could possibly be a teacher. Queen of Swords, or want to be, or is in school for that, okay? Queen of Swords and the Two of Cups. All right. It feels as if you're weaving your way by wisdom, by intellect, by intuition, through some type of connection, all right? Yeah. You're navigating by way of connection, okay? Or not by way of connection. You're navigating this connection by way of wisdom and logic. Absolutely. Clarity. You might even have to, detachment. Yeah. With the Swords, I always get a certain level of emotional attachment at the very least. Emotionally attaching from a specific result, or emotionally detaching from from yourself sometimes, I feel. If you're overly emotional, then sometimes you can cloud your own judgment, okay? Wayward is what I just heard. Yeah, the Three of Wands. Expansion. And you see how she's like hiding? There's something that like resides deep within. And I was also hearing before I started, don't do it, girl. You know that reel where they're like, don't do it, girl. You gon' some, don't do it. Then you be like this, then the other person is like, I did it. Yeah, you may be the type of person to talk somebody down from something. I'm seeing the movie Yes Man, when after everything that he said yes to, he's learned specific lessons. So he learned how to play guitar. He learned how to speak a specific language, and all of these kind of benefit him in his relationship with someone, okay? And eventually he sees somebody on a ledge, okay, about to end it all. And he grabs the guitar and he sings, wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. Yeah. Okay, so it feels like you may be able to talk someone down. You could have a very coaxing voice, okay, or just a very tame spirit, all right? All right. You could also be very disciplined in some way, shape, or form, and people could benefit from that as well. What's the advice moving forward from my Cappies? Something about signaling could be significant, okay? Six of Pentacles. Yeah, you got a gift. You got a gift. Capricorns! Again, I didn't know anything. You didn't tell me nothing. Okay, can I have one more? Well, can I have two more? You got gifts. You're supposed to be presenting them. I'm so tired of fussing at y'all. And I'm not just talking about y'all. Yes. You're supposed to bring clarity where there is no clarity, where there's a lot of hidden things with that moon. Yeah. And a lot of times you could just naturally do it without overthinking, because the moon also speaks about intuition, but it also speaks about distance. So there's something about you that could possibly bring people together. You could be a great mediator or something like that. Okay. All right. Seven of Swords. And it fell all the way over here, all right? Lessons that you have learned, you'll be able to apply them. Yes, Six of Swords, okay. Six comes before the seven. This is where you're being guided, though. Yeah, it feels like you could be guided towards, yeah, I'm really picking up on this mediator, but you don't have to be. My nose just started itching really, really bad. So who's the mediator in this, John? Okay. Thank you. All right. And with that being said, there's going to be a need for you, there's going to be a need for you to keep yourself grounded when you are in possibly hostile situations, all right? Yeah. Because if everybody's wired, okay, then who's going to be the middle ground, okay? Who's going to bring everybody else down in a good way, okay? Clarify the Empress. You could prevent people from, you could be like a relationship therapist and or coach. You could be a coach, okay? A sports coach, all right? You could even, I know that sometimes teachers have coaches as well, all right? The Empress, please. Thank you. Two of Wands, all right? And the Nine of Coins, all right. Yeah, the color yellow, absolutely. And the Eight of Coins. It feels as if you can inspire some type of enlightenment, or you can encourage enlightenment, especially when people have one or more choices, okay? Yes, that'll lead them down more prosperous pathways, okay? Yeah, something about a microphone could be very significant. Okay, so you could be like a rapper or songwriter or something like that could be very significant. Wherever you may use your vocal cords, okay? Your speech is very powerful. I said that before, though. Your speech is very powerful. Page of Cups, absolutely. You might even encourage people to better utilize their internal dialogue, okay? So tapping in with themselves before they act, all right? You could assist people with, I don't know why this feels like a service type of thing, all right? But it feels like something that you've already perfected to a certain extent, or at the very least you have gathered enough information, so much so that now you can teach it, okay? And when the student is ready, the teacher appears, okay? Yeah, so it feels like you may have been, unbeknownst to you, you may have been being groomed for this part of your life, okay? Or for this position. Something about mates, co-workers, friends, roommates, okay? Interesting. Call to action. All right. Okay. Ooh, that was a nice catch. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, you could be encouraging people to wait and not be so impulsive with the decisions that they make, okay? Not be so impulsive with the things that they say, all right? Again, making people stop, pause, think about it. Take a second. Ding, matter of fact, I should take, boy, when I tell you, a couple of these, I was hearing that last night. I was like, I don't know where the heck that go. I guess I figured out the mind. Two of Swords. I think this came out before, so I'm going to keep it, okay? Yes. It feels like at one point in time, like I said, you could have been very impulsive, okay? Whether it be with action or with your words, okay? Someone could be very, very witty, all right? And that could absolutely help you in this position. But it feels like you have the ability to teach people to pause before they make a decision, especially when they are unsure of the decision, okay? This could even be you today, now, right here, okay? Needing to pause. Think about the things that you have invested in, the time that you have put in place for whatever, to grow whatever, to create whatever, to build whatever, okay? And make sure that you don't behave impulsively. One wrong move and everything could fall down, right? Okay. The Hierophant, please. The Hierophant also speaks about a commitment. The Star in reverse, okay? Interesting. Okay, so you could bring people back to the light, or you could bring people back to some sort of religion. Look, yeah, the Queen of Swords, okay. So this is what you're supposed to be teaching people. People that have lost faith, either in life, in humanity, in the government, in whatever. It feels as if, even if you're not bringing them back to where they came from, it feels as if you can alleviate something within their lives, making it more doable, okay? Yeah, you could also definitely partake in gardening, okay? What do they call it? Green therapy or something like that? Okay, red light therapy could be significant for someone. Yeah, it feels like with this, the Star in reverse, and then the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords are the air signs, okay? Yeah, they're the air signs. So, like I said, you could be very much so logical, but you may be very rooted to the ground, okay? So you've just worked your way up from the bottom, started from the bottom, now we're here. Hey, so grounding. When we think about earth signs, we think about the material things, what we can see. We also think about Mother Nature, Mother Gaia, okay? So with you being an earth sign already, you already got one. And then it feels like you just worked your way up to the top. And once you get up here, it's only up from here, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. So now it feels as if you could teach people how to get out of the hole that they possibly have dug for themselves, or maybe even that someone else threw them in, okay? Because you have this very a keen eye for deciding what is necessary and what is not, okay? So it's like cutting through the bullshit to get to the heart of the matter. Clarify this Queen of Swords and the Two of Cups, please. Ain't you gonna do me like that? I did not want to do that because I knew that ponytail was going to go crazy. Okay. We got the King of Swords out here. King of Swords. Right by the Queen of Swords. So, it feels as if at one point in time, you may have been deadly with your logic, deadly with your words, deadly with your detachment, okay? And so with this King of Swords, you learn when to cut somebody off, when to separate yourself from something, when to be strategic, when to be logic. And then it kind of feels like you kind of pulled back, all right? Kind of decided that it's not them that I have to control, though. It's myself. So if I don't want this result, if I don't like how something is making me feel, then what can I do to change it? And that's what a lot of people need to understand, okay, in their lives, because a lot of people are miserable because somebody in their life is acting up or they can't control something. But a lot of the times when we release control, we allow everything to unfold as it should. I think about, now just what just came to mind is That's So Raven. I love the show, but as a kid, I used to be cringing at some of the things that she did. And I literally used to have to be like, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. Because she implemented herself in a lot of different scenarios because she feared the result, or she feared the conclusion, okay? Yeah, isolation. Okay, you could have definitely learned this through isolation, through taking yourself back, okay, away from whatever situation that you may have been going through, and really doing the internal work. Do y'all hear that loud ass train? And then you stop when I stop. That's crazy, rude ass, all right? Yeah. Okay. So we just saw the Hermit. The star was in reverse. So at one point in time, I don't know if I finished the thought. At one point in time, perhaps you lost faith, all right? And this could even be redirecting people to be more realistic. Because sometimes delusion comes when we misinterpret or perceive people in the wrong light, whether it's good or bad, okay? And then it's like, okay, but why do you think like that? So at one point in time, it feels like you had to look yourself in the mirror and say, but why do I think like that? Why do I want that to happen? Why do I not want that to happen? You know what I mean? Yeah, and you see how at one point in time, you could have felt as if you had to win at all costs, all right? Because in the background, it's trash, it's garbage. So at one point in time, you could have realized that sometimes you're fighting, like, what exactly are you fighting for? To be the king or the queen of nothing? That's what this feels like with this King of Swords. It feels like you learned how to pick your battles, and people could benefit from that, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Strength in reverse, because losing, sometimes you got to lose the battle to win the war, okay? Yes. So strength doesn't always have to be about winning everything and ruling over everybody and being the almighty or the all-powerful person or whatever. Sometimes it's deciding you're not going to get it even if I do break it down. You're not going to get it even if I prove to you that you're wrong. So there's something significant about when and where and how to choose battles, okay? And it really feels like you have, like I keep saying, I hate to be redundant, but you've learned enough lessons so that people can learn from you. And in turn, you could probably learn from other people too. We're never too old to learn, okay? Or too young, amen? 3 of Wands, please. And whatever you have learned, you still have the capacity to expand on as the 4 of Wands comes out. And the 7 of Wands, okay. Interesting, 4 and 3 is 7. $11. Ascension. This doesn't have 11, but 11 does give me ascension. It even gives me, you could possibly be the bridge, okay? The bridge from a person's past life or old self or old karmic ways or old immature ways, okay? And lead them towards more maturity, more duality. This is what I just heard, okay? You can be both. You can be strong and you can walk away, okay? Not allowing people to press your buttons, pull the trigger, okay? Or take you out of your character. Yeah, protecting your peace It feels like, even if you have to go into hiding or step back from the camera, step back from the limelight, so to speak, all right? Some of your lessons may have required you to step back from the limelight with the star in reverse, okay? Because the star could also be the star, all right? But with the hermit, I forgot to mention, the hermit holds the star, because the hermit is in darkness. It's just you, yourself, and the Most High, okay? And sometimes it gets really dark down there. So you got to have something to remind you, either to direct you, to remind you that there's light at the end of the tunnel. It feels like you could possibly be someone's light at the end of the tunnel, or a reminder of that. That's beautiful. As the sun is over here with advice. One of the biggest stars, you feel what I'm saying? Six of Pentacles. Three of Cups, okay? This feels like community, all right? You may want to join a community of I was going to say assisters, of assistants, okay? A community of speakers, a community of preachers, hell. Put it where it goes, okay? A community of teachers. You may want to gather around people that have the similar gifts to you, okay? And it feels like iron sharpens iron, all right? Thank you. The Hermit comes out again, okay? It feels as if you could have possibly been by yourself for quite some time. Okay, yeah, the Four of Swords. You've been by yourself healing for quite some time, okay? And it feels like now that you've healed enough, you licked enough wounds, now you can go outside and you can not only identify when people are hurting or how people are hurting. You could be able to run to their rescue, so to speak. And kind of, how do I want to put this? Prevent something from happening, whether it be detrimental to themselves or detrimental to others. It really feels like you can talk people off the ledge, okay? It just feels like this is a gift of yours. And you could be awakening to that right now. If you've wondered, like, should I be speaking? Should I be seen? Should I be doing this? Yes. Any other questions? Yeah. Shallows. I want the deep end, watches darling. I never meet the ground. Crash on the surface where they can't hurt us. I'm far from the shallow now. Yeah, it's getting deep, okay? You can, it really feels like you would benefit by, dang, like being a shoulder for people to lean on or cry on. That's interesting, all right? The Magician, the Five of Pentacles, far from the shallows, Five of Cups, I'm sorry, and the Ten of Pentacles. It feels like you can assist people with transmuting the negative energy and experiences that they have undergone, okay? And teach them how to turn it into money, into abundance, okay? Yeah, that's interesting. In the shallow, you're far from the shallows, so maybe it's time for you to start guiding people away from the shallows, okay? Away from being superficial, away from like a linear way of thinking, okay? Yeah, and the Magician is mercurial energy, and so is the Hermit. Mercury is the planet of communication, okay? I love that. Yeah. Yes, the High Priestess at the bottom. And you know this, man. And it feels like you may be guided towards people by your intuition. That's what I was getting before. Feel your way through it. You could have really honed the ability to feel your way through it. You don't know where you're going, but you know that you're going somewhere. So it feels like feeling, and that's interesting because I wasn't sure what sign I was going to do. And so I put the cards down and I was like feeling my way through. And I kid you not, I remember seeing this little orange part on the back. I kept mistakenly tapping Capricorn. And then I just took the 4 remaining cards and I shuffled them. I said, you know, Most High, ignore that hand movement. But this is what I was doing for the nasties in the back. I said, Most High, show me who needs this message. And Capricorn came out. So you may need to feel your way through something. It may not be, hey, I need help. Somebody's spirit may be calling out to you more so than their vessel. That's beautiful. Okay. 7 of Swords. Even if they are possibly denying your help, all right? You know how sometimes, and I can't think of one of the movies, but there are some like old school movies where the teacher oversteps boundaries in order to ensure that the student gets their homework done. Yeah. I think there was even one movie where a student or a teacher came and he saw that his student was babysitting and cooking and doing all this stuff. And he was like, I'll watch the baby. You do your homework. You write your paper type thing. Okay. Not you, 6 of Coins keeps coming out. Not you breaching boundaries, all right? Yeah. 6 of Coins, okay. You may be even called to bring people into the fold, okay? I don't know if I said this before, I probably did, but realign people with where it is that they're supposed to be, okay? Reminding them that their responsibilities are not, some people could be carrying a lot of burdens that are not their own. Okay, I got you. All right. Yeah. And so it may be imperative for you to step in and ensure that they get what they need as well with the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is reciprocity, all right? Yeah. Then the Wheel of Fortune, absolutely. This could even be you coming in to end the cycle of people breadcrumbing themselves, okay? Or receiving and accepting the breadcrumbs from other people, okay? Yeah, the Knight of Wands. And pursuing their dreams and aspirations, all right? Oh, this is beautiful. 7 of Cups. Yeah, reminding people that they have more options than what it is that they see currently, okay? It feels like you could be restoring faith, okay? In more ways than one. I think I said that, but I'm going to say it again. One more for the 7. 8 of Wands, okay? 8 of Wands comes out on its side. Why is it out on its side? Two of Cups. Interesting. I was hearing the word guidance, and then the 6 of Swords comes here. The 6 of Swords is normally moving from rough waters to calmer waters, and a lot of times it's your ancestors. So it's something that you feel. It's like, I don't know why I'm going over here, but I just need to go. This could be, I don't know why I gotta go to the grocery store today. I just went grocery shopping Thursday, but that's because there's somebody there that needs your help. I don't know why I want to go run at this particular track when I usually go to this track, but that's because there's somebody that could benefit from your energy. I don't know why I want to go to the library today, but I just feel like I should go. That's that. So you may not be very clear about why it is that you are being guided, that you are receiving certain messages or certain inclinations to go somewhere, but this is why, because your energy is needed there. Yeah. Oh, my Capricorns. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, and this deck, I always call it my angel deck, but it's fairies. And because I almost called y'all angels before, I had already decided that y'all was going to get these cards. I ain't going to lie. Don't tell the other signs. I like to keep it fair, but when I'm called to choose other guidance cards, I do. I go with the flow. I'm obedient. Okay? Yeah, y'all need to go ahead and be obedient. Obedience. Look, temptation. Yeah. Are you in denial about an unhealthy habit? Perhaps one that makes you feel guilty? Didn't I speak about gardening? The fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation, whatever it's, guys. This could also be you kind of guiding people away from their temptations, maybe even shedding light on how their temptations are negatively impacting their lives, okay? Una más, por favor. Fairy spotting. It's time to go fairy spotting. It's said that seeing is believing, but in fact, the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. If this don't say feel your way through, I don't know what does. Okay? I love y'all so much. I hope this helped. If you would like a personal from me, please check the description box down below. And as always, stay fly, aim high, okay?